yes, my people don't come again. This time I dey waka dey go meet an important person. We dey talk about the issue of xenophobic attack. Now, now who know if any in South Africa? So, go. But in a general note, what do you think the South Africans to their fellow blacks, even blacks can no longer be safe in Africa?
Go behind, it's instigated by the whites.
Serious?
I'm telling you, I can prove that authentically. It is every killing of black to black is instigated by the white man. It's a syndicate on the background. They're the one piping them up. They're the one telling them that these people are taking their job. While actually they are the ones taking the job of people, freezing their money and not allowing money to flow. So the people get squeezed. If you want to get any people, stab them.
But
Hunger is the greatest weapon of war.
But personally, I don't think they're hungry. I think they were pampered by the people that fought against the apartheid. That's the likes of Mandela. When they secure their so-called independence.
What is over-pampering?
From the white men. No, they have a welfare system where even if you are not working, there are minimum allowances that is allowable.
It's all over the world.
You know?
So you are saying that it makes them lazy?
It makes them lazy.
Okay.
And when they now see people like our people, Nigerians, coming over there to work and make money, you know, it's natural for human being to be envious of a successful person coming into their
but you cannot override what
it happens all over the world.
So but you, what you are saying in essence, straight can I say, yeah? But what you cannot override is what Prof is saying, because I don't see the reason why a black
and
will just start
human
killing.
beings. How can somebody come and tell you
Before I
that
make
the
that,
blacks are taking your job?
okay, now how can
That
somebody
other
come and
African
tell you
countries are
that
taking your job?
if you
Are
die,
they not human beings?
you go to heaven and have seven
It's
wives?
brainwashing.
While actually that person will not die and go to the same heaven and have seven wives.
People are being
The whole thing
brainwashed.
is the whole thing is being brainwashed. Religion brainwashes people. Religion takes away your freedom and reasoning. Sociality kills your ability to be a human being.
And that is what you
That's
think
a
is happening in
weapon
South Africa.
used on Africans. That's a weapon used on African. They use artwork by Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and made a paintings, sculptures that God is a white man. And so whatever the white man tells you, psychologically in your subliminal consciousness, you think it's from God, and therefore you act on it as if you're acting for God. That's what's happening today.
Okay, now what role do you, can you refresh us on what role in the Igbo? Because I know that a lot of Igbo people are living in South Africa. A lot of Nigerians are living in South Africa. It's just like a second home. What role did our people, Igbos and Nigerians, play during that apartheid period?
Of course, Nigeria was championing apartheid. Without Nigerian sacrifices of our soldiers, of our wealth, of our economy, of our strength, physical manifestation, physical strength in soldiers there wouldn't have been any South Africa. If Mandela would be crying in the grave now. Mandela was in Nigeria, number 5 Okotiobo Street, under my uncle Mbazulike Amaechi, when they were pushing him until when he was sneaking to the airport, they caught him at the airport. That was how he came here, but that was how they got into South Africa. My elder brother was giving Mandela tea in the room where he was hiding. You understand it? So I know more details about this. Before I make any sentence or any utterance, remember I'm from a political family, I must have background and I can prove what I said. And it's right. The real problem of African and not African, there are music on the background, political music, religious slavery, sociality, manipulation.
So what should we do? What do we do, Prof?
Well, to me, what we should do is to look inward. The victory you're going to have is to conquer yourself. The highest victory on earth is conquer self. Look inward and find out who really you are, not what we are told.
Okay.
For example, they told me Mogopa discovered River Niger. I asked you, was River Niger last? Mogopa River Niger, who is older? He said the questions you're going to ask, but you can't ask it because the man who's might have told you that it looks like the Almighty God. And so you refuse to ask questions. So what we're going to do in this jet is that we should look inward and find out really who am I? Why am I here? Until these questions are answered, Africans will continue to be just slave
Okay.
Indirectly.
All right. That is the voice of, and the man you are just looking at or watching when he speaks is Professor Abodike Chinedu. He is a resource person that none of you should toil with. In fact, very soon we'll be bringing him on live program on BVI platform. He's an authority. Whatever we bring to you on this platform is first-hand information. And we are heading to his uncle's house, Mbazulike Amaechi, right?
Yeah.
Good. He is his uncle, and he is the man that actually housed Mandela of South Africa during the apartheid period. Now today, this xenophobic attack on Igbo living in South Africa and other Africans in South Africa has gotten to this point. And we need to hear from the man who stood in the gap for the South Africans and salvaged their leader, who eventually got them the freedom they deserve. But today, they've turned it against their fellow blacks. So we are heading to Mbazulike Amaechi's home for an important interview with him. So stay tuned and don't go away. We'll be right back.
Nayuku, it's a pleasure and a blessing to sit side by side with you. Many people might have known you, especially in the knife, our fathers, because you're going to categories of our grandfather. Then the younger generation is good to refresh their memory about whom we are seated with today.
By way of introduction, my name is Mbazulike Amaechi.
All right.
Echilimozo. My title is Darakwafo.
Yeah.
I'm a founding father in this country. I'm one of the nationalists who fought for the independence of this country. When we won independence in 1960, I was elected a member of parliament. I was first of all appointed a parliamentary secretary. Then in 1962, I was appointed a minister. I was Nigeria's first minister of aviation. And I remained a minister, won election a second time in 1964, reappointed a minister. I remained a minister until the criminal action of the military in taking over the government. Since then, I've come here. But one fact remains, of all the ministers of the First Republic in Nigeria, of all the founding fathers and for independence, I'm the only one alive. The rest have died. I'm the only minister of the First Republic alive in Nigeria. And of course, my age is only 90 years.
Yeah, you are getting younger.
Only 90 years.
So that's why I say it's a pleasure sitting side by side with you.
Thank you very much.
It's really a pleasure. Now, sir, you have seen a whole lot in this your just 90 years, and one of which is why we came here, because your children are crying out there. Your children that are residing in South Africa, they are crying out there about the xenophobic attacks and killings of blacks and Africans in South Africa. We understood the role you played during the time of, or the darkest era in the history of black South Africans. We want you to refresh on that and tell us what you think about the entire situation.
Honestly, I feel very sad when I read in the newspapers or watch on the television some of the atrocious things being done in South Africa today, particularly South Africans, black South Africans, not wanting their brothers to be in their country, and particularly Nigerians. Nigeria played a very, very significant role in the darkest years of South Africa, of the blacks in South Africa during the apartheid regime. They were killing them, they were imprisoning them, and in our own government of the Eastern region, by my party, the NTNC then, we collected a lot of young boys and young girls from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Tanzania, from Malawi, and gave them scholarships in Nigerian secondary schools. Gave them the education here in Nigerian secondary school. The 16 grammar schools there had about 20 South Africans, 20 Africans, East and Central African, when they were being oppressed by the whites, we were giving them education. Most of their politicians, we trained them in the NCNC political training school at Yaba. They went home and became ministers in their country. When Nelson Mandela was being hunted by South African apartheid government and British intelligence service, he went to Tanzania. At Tanzania, they wanted Tanzania being a small country, they wanted to round him up there because there were so many whites there. And so he found his way to Nigeria in 1961. And when he came to Nigeria, Dr. Azikiwe was then the Governor General, not yet President of Nigeria. So he reported to Zik. And Zik said, okay, we'll host you here. We'll keep you in this country. We'll give you refuge here. Let me find the nationalist that has similar thinking with you, with whom you feel comfortable and at home. And Zik sent for me. I went to see Zik at the State House. I introduced Nelson Mandela and said that I should take him and he should stay with me. Sorry. Mandela came to me and lived with me in my house at number 5 Okotiebo Street, Ikoyi, Lagos, for 6 good months. The British intelligence service were looking for him, desperately for him. South Africa had no representation in Nigeria then. The apartheid government of South Africa did not have a representation in Nigeria then. So the British people were fighting for them. They were looking for him, but it was impossible for them to get to Mandela because Mandela was with me. I wasn't a soft person, a nationalist in there. The British knew me. They wouldn't get near me. If they got near me, the person would burn. So with Mandela, Mandela felt free with me. Most often we would go to the clubs in the night, we'd dance at the Empire Hotel, Kakadu Hotel, and everywhere. We would go and dance high life and so forth. And they dare not touch him. And then once a month, I used to come home every month. Every month, Mandela and myself will come to this village. We'll stay here in this village, spend the weekend, Friday, Saturday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, we'll go back to Lagos. And there's an African diet I like very much, abacha. The flat one, not the mbagobunu. So Mandela liked it very much. And my mother was always very fond of preparing it for us. Even when we were going home, back to Lagos, he would package something for us to take to Lagos because Mandela liked it. So after about 6 months, Mandela started thinking. He said, look, comrade, this my stay in Nigeria is not productive. It's true that I'm free here, but my people are still slaves. I think I better go home. If I go home, one of two things will happen. They will either kill me or they will send me to prison. Whichever way they do will give inspiration to other nationalists to fight more and more. So he said he was going home. So we decided he should go home. Then I rallied a a few of the known old Zikis. Then we escorted him to the airport, and then we sat together, and then we sang the Zikis anthem. My life has been a joy to me, no matter where I go. I've learned to live in harmony with kindly friend of foe. We sang it for him, and then he boarded the aircraft, went home. Barely 3 months after he got home, they arrested him, and they sent him to prison for life. Significantly, the typical Mandela, he wrote me a letter from prison, signed in prison number so and so and so. He wrote me that there was a Dr. Barange, the son of a lawyer who defended them, that the apartheid government was trying to get that Dr. Barange to imprison him, that he is running away to Nigeria, that I should help him get a job in Nigeria. He was a geologist. So the Dr. Barange came to Nigeria, reported to me, and I arranged for the University of Ife to offer him a job as a lecturer. So that was from Mandela, from prison, writing to think about somebody else who is free outside. That is the nature of person Mandela was. So when he was eventually discharged from prison after 27 years, he came to Nigeria to say thank you to us. By then, Nigeria was under military dictatorship by Abacha. So, but Mandela said whatever happened, he wanted to see two people in Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Mbazulike Amaechi. So Zik was then a man at free, no more president, no more governor at Abuja, at Nsukka. So they arranged, the military governor at Enugu then was one Robert Akonobi. So Akonobi arranged for Mandela to meet with Zik and sent for me. They sent a message to me that Mandela was at Enugu and they wanted to see me. So I went to Enugu with my wife, and we met with Mandela. Mandela introduced me and my wife to his wife, because he came with his wife, Winnie, I think Winnie or something. Winnie. And they came together. So we had some time at Enugu, and we escorted him, he went home. When he died, I wanted to go for the funeral, but the government, the federal government, refused to sponsor me. Good luck, Jonathan. I even begged, I said, give me a lift in your aircraft, your free aircraft. Then the secretary to the government, one man from Africa, he said, look, what are you going to do in South Africa? The way they do their funeral is not the way we do it here. It's for you to stand on the street to wave when they carry the coffin. So I said, no, it's not true. So PWB was the governor of Anambra State then. So 2 or 4 days to the thing at South Africa, PWB had this and sent for me. I was at Abuja trying to beg these people to let me go. So PWB said, no, don't worry, Anambra government, I will sponsor you. So PWB sponsored me, myself, my PA, and my secretary. We went to South Africa. But the significant thing was that my going to South Africa was the only way of letting the world know that Nigeria ever played a role in the affairs of Mandela and South Africa. Our president Jonathan went there. He sat among the VIPs in the field. Only one spokesman was allowed per continent. So one woman spoke for Africa. The American president spoke. Somebody spoke for Europe, and so forth. So Jonathan was there. Nobody took notice of him, and he went home. It was only when I arrived that the Nigerian mission in South Africa became very happy. Here is Nigeria. They surprised me by being at the airport at 5 a.m. to give me VIP treatment. The Nigerian embassy in South Africa, they took me, gave me, they then arranged for me to go to Mandela's house to sign the condolence register. From there, I went to Pretoria, where they led him in state, and then went to the place, paid my respect to him. Then they took me to his village. You see, I saw some bullet marks on the wall and so forth when they were fighting for this thing. Then, but the most important thing was that they arranged a big dinner party of international people for me and arranged a world press conference for me to address. It was there that South Africa and the world knew that Nigeria played a very significant role in the struggle of South African blacks. So now that I'm hearing about people, South Africans, killing Nigerians or other Africans, I feel so sad. Because in their darkest hour, many of these countries, particularly Nigeria, played her role. Even during military regime, the military in Nigeria, under Abacha of all people, received Mandela, and then I think they gave him something when he came. But Mandela was not bothered with money. Wealth was not his concern in his life. But it's true that people from Zimbabwe, from Malawi and other areas were rushing down to South Africa because of its development, because of its mineral resources and so forth. And there's more wealth there. But the South African people, most of them, it will be unkind for me to say that they are lazy, but they are not playing their role in seeking employment. They rather like to enjoy the new freedom they have than working. And so when others come to work to earn their salary, they become jealous. It makes one feel very uncomfortable. Well, when they are killing blacks, perhaps they don't discriminate among Nigerians. All blacks are blacks. But Nigeria played a very significant role in the struggle by the blacks of South Africa to free themselves from the yoke of imperialism called apartheid. So that they should be killing Nigerians like that, it's not good enough. But I must also tell you that even Nigerians, some Nigerians are killing themselves in South Africa. When I was there, the High Commissioner called me and told me to please address a particular section of Nigerians in South Africa. That they said in the last 6 months, there have been 15 cases of Nigerians killing Nigerians in South Africa. 15 cases in 6 months of Nigerians killing themselves in South Africa. So it's true that the economy is bad in Nigeria. It is true that the government of Nigeria is discriminating against a certain section of the country. The southeast and south people of the country. And it has forced many of them to rush away. But I would tell them to start thinking home. The proper thing is to think home.
Yeah.
Make some money there. See, it's not fair that in Nigeria we'll give protection to big countries like MTN from South Africa, or ShopRite, these big companies in South Africa, other organizations in South Africa, we give them protection, and then when our people go there, they are being killed. So the government of South Africa has a very heavy responsibility, very heavy duty, very heavy obligation to protect Nigerians, to protect other Africans, because when they were in their darkest hour, these people ran to their rescue. Europe conspiratorially held a meeting to divide Africa. And they suppressed Africa and ruled Africa. African people, black African people, struggled and liberated themselves from the imperial governments of European power in those days. Now, if we don't rule ourselves well, if we start killing ourselves well, they will ridicule us. They will say that's why we say we should be ruled. So, but unfortunately, among so many governments in South Africa, military intervention did a lot of damage. Like the case of Nigeria. 38 years of military intervention in Nigeria destroyed nationalism in Nigeria, destroyed patriotism in Nigeria, introduced stealing, vandalism, and everything, looting. You see, massive corruption, killing, in order to make, and they made the conscience, the nation lose conscience. No ideological thing. Nobody's thinking about tomorrow. People who go to government now go to government for what they can get out of government. But people like us who fought for independence and went into government for what we could give. And we gave the best we had. But now these people are extracting and looting and destroying the country.
Thank you so much, sir. You have really touched every aspect of what we would have tried to deliberate with you. And I believe those who are listening will take that as a lesson